Hello, my name is Ryan Stevenson. I'm Senior Technical Trainer with Best Equipment Company. Today we're going to discuss winterization of a single engine Vac-Con unit. Okay, now we're going to go over winterizing the low pressure water circuit on your Vac-Con. If your unit does not have the valve tree located in the back, we have our older traditional controls. This video is for you. For our low pressure handgun circuit, the first thing we're going to do is pull all of the hose off of the reel to ensure we have no coils in the bottom. Once we have the hose off of the reel, we have everything extended out. We're going to come to our first ball valve, which is located here at the front. And we're going to activate or turn on this ball valve. I'll know it's on because it's in vertical position in line with the hoses. At this point, I have air going to my reel. I need to go up front, turn my handgun ball valve on and my pump control ball valve. I'll meet you up front. Okay. Now that we have all our ball valves open for the low pressure circuit, we're going to secure the end to ensure it does not move. We're going to have air hooked up to our air purge port, either from chassis air or from shop air, and I'm going to open my air purge valve at the front of the unit here. Yep. So now that we have all our valves turned on, we're ready to start with the air purge. At our air purge fitting here, I'm either going to have chassis air hooked up or shop air. I'm going to turn the ball valve to the on position, making sure I have the end secure to the hose, and I should now have air and water coming out of my hose assembly. I'm going to continue to air purge this circuit until I have air only coming out of the hose. Once I have air only coming out of the end of the hose, I'm going to retract this hose back onto the reel assembly, ensuring that there's no water left in the circuit itself. Once I'm completed, I'm going to turn my air purge valve to the off position. I'm going to close my handgun ball valve here, and I'm going to go to the front bumper, close my handgun bumper ball valve, and then turn my pump control to the off position. Okay, now we're going to discuss our high pressure or hydro excavation circuit winterization. First thing I'm going to do, as we did with the low pressure circuit, we're going to take all of the hose off of the reel, run it flat on the ground. We're going to open our hydro excavation unloader ball valve. We're going to move this to the vertical position, opening that circuit, and then we're going to go to the front of the truck and we're going to turn our pump control ball valve to the on position. Okay. Now that we've turned our pump control to the on position, our valve is in the on position here. I have a secure hold on the end of the hose. I'm going to turn my air purge fitting on, and now I have air flowing through my circuit. I'm going to continue this operation until I only have air coming out of the hose assembly itself. And as I have air coming through it, I'm going to retract this hose back onto the reel, ensuring there's no water left in the reel itself. Once I have my reel secured, I can turn my air purge to the off position, and I can turn my excavation valve to the off position as well. The last valve, I'm going to go back to the front control station and turn my water pump to the off position. Now I have only air coming out of the hose. I'm going to retract the hose back onto the reel assembly, ensuring there's no water left in the hose itself. From there, I'm going to open my auxiliary drains on forward and aft of my unloader valve. Rotate these. I'm going to purge these till I have air only coming out of these valves. Once I have air only coming out of these valves, I can turn my control valve to the off position, and I can return my air purge to the off position as well. The last step is going to be at the front of the truck. We'll turn our pump control to the off position. Now that we have our hose secured back on the reel with air only coming out, we have an auxiliary port here for our low pressure handgun. I'll take this plug out, ensure I have air only blowing out of this connection. Once I have air only coming out of this connection, I'm now ready to shut my circuit down. I can close my handgun ball valve, turn my air purge off, go to the front, turn my bumper valve to the off position, as well as my pump control to the off position. Okay, now we are going to winterize the debris tank flush out if your unit is equipped with the flush out option. On the rear side of the water pump, we have a ball valve here. We're going to open this ball valve. Once our ball valve is open, we can take our air purge with our hose connected and open our air purge valve. We now have air flowing through to the manifold inside the tank. We're going to listen for airflow coming into the debris tank assembly, ensuring all the water is out of that circuit. Once I can hear air coming through that circuit, I'm going to come back up here to the flush out ball valve. I'm going to close my flush out ball valve, and then I'm going to close my air purge valve. To start the water pump, to purge the water out of the inner cylinders, we're going to depress the top right hand button, press and hold, and this will start the auxiliary engine on the unit. Once the auxiliary engine started, I'm going to allow that to run for 10 to 15 seconds, allowing that water to push out of the cylinders into the exhaust section where that air can take that away. When we're completed, I press the button again to stop the auxiliary engine operation, and we're ready to go. And that concludes our winterization of the unit. If you have any additional questions, please contact Best Equipment Company at 800-372-BEST.